Hey guys, this is Xzac, and sorry about not having much videos lately. It's because I'm busy and the fact that I'm lazy, so bad combination. Anyways, tonight I'm going to be touching about three target groups, basically the noobs, the medium semi-pro players, and the competitive players. And the first of all, I want to go through generic tips because lots of people have been asking me, how do you improve yourself? So basically, what I can say is that number one is you have to identify your mistakes and throw away bad habits. What that means is sometimes we have the decency, the idea of Rambo reviving or killing more than playing the objective and stuff like that. So if you're always gonna repeat that same mistake, you're never gonna improve. And number two would be joining a clan. Pretty obvious. Don't have to explain that to you. And number three is always go against tougher opponents if you want to improve. The reason of that is because if you always go in any pub game or any scrim versus like a team of noobs, right, you'll have a false sense of security that you're good, but actually you're not. You're just beating noobs. So always go against tougher opponents or opponents close to your level. That way you can actually see whether or not you're actually improving or you're just staying stagnant. And finally, if you're having a scrim or clan match, 8v8, 4v4 or something, take each loss as a lesson. That means it's not a damn competition, it's better to lose in a scrim than lose to a tournament. That's right, it's not about pride, it's just a damn scrim. So don't be too hard on it, and like I said, take each loss as a lesson. And if you don't know how to identify your mistakes, try to ask your opponents, because I'm fairly certain that any opponent that you go against, they'll probably give you a couple of tips on how to improve, assuming they're not jackasses. So here we go. Okay, first of all, I'm going to talk about a tutorial that a lot of people have been asking me to do. It's shoot rubble or debris on people. First of all, it's not my invention. It's I learned it from Team Immunity's Dev Dog, so all credit goes to him. And the idea is that if you shoot an RPG on top of like certain maps, you just drop like concrete on him, and it looks cool and all, but there are pros and cons. The pros would be, yes, it looks cool, the enemies get pissed off, but the cons is that you're actually gonna waste your RPG, so if you're not gonna kill anything. So what I always like to do is only use the RPG or to drop rubble on them if I'm out of ammo. So even if you don't kill the other guy, if you clip him, right, the rubble will take care of everything. Because sometimes if you shoot a rubble at someone, it shows a hit marker, but it doesn't kill him. And you don't want to be too engrossed with it,
No.
because if you don't know the maps that well, you're just going to be an annoyance. And sometimes it's best just to use the RPG to shoot at someone's face instead of just shooting above him or around him. And sometimes it's just best to use your main gun, because if you're always going to use the RPG, and shooting at random buildings and windows and stuff, it's going to be irritating, especially if there's friendly fire on. And it's gonna be really irritating for your team because you're not doing anything. You should be using your gun, not your RPG. So the fun thing about this one is that there are certain maps where there's lots of hotspots where people like to camp and you can get lots of kills, but I'm not gonna tell you where. That's the fun part. You guys have to discover it yourself. Alright, basically the higher you shoot, the further the rubble will fall. And if the enemy is close to the building, what you want to do is always aim a little bit lower than the roof. It will produce lesser damage, but if you do it right, you're probably gonna kill him, because if you use your main weapon first, he's probably gonna get clipped, and then finish him off with the RPG. And always remember that the damage is AoE, so that means you don't have to kill him. You don't have to hit him directly, you just have to hit around him to do damage. Alright, next one we'll be talking about how to punish your opponents permanently for competitive gaming. A lot of people have been asking me, how do you guys base rip and all. So what I need you to do is open up your eyes and ears and look at the video that I'll play in a bit, and I'll review the video again once it's done. So here we go.
Monkey down. Hey, I disabled. Coming around junction.
My turn, you repairing.
Hop in. Is the APC down? Oh, APC down. Is APC down?
Okay, so a couple of significant things happened within the time span of maybe 10 seconds. Number one, our infantry squad took down 4 guys at B, and at the same time our LAV took down their LAV and 1 repairman. So that means we got 6 confirmed kills. and we have all 8 of our guys left. So what do? You have 2 choices. Number 1, if you want to play aggressive, you can go for his flag, and you know they have the other 6 guys who are just spawning on that Charlie flag. By the time they spawn, our LAV will be there, and our whole team will be there. So it's gonna be a firefight. Or B, you can actually hold B. You know, you can play defensive and bleed it out. So it really depends on how your team wants to play it. But for this one, I'm gonna go through the video again, and you're gonna see a couple of subtitles to help out.
Monkey down. Hey, I disabled.
My
Coming around
turn,
junction.
you
Yep.
we bang.
Eek. Hop in. Is the APC down? Oh, APC. Is APC down?
So you see, we punish our opponents because we managed to kill all 6 of them at around the same time, and it's a high risk, high reward strategy because it all depends on your infantry. If your infantry is good, you can actually capture the last flag and start base camping or base raping. But if your infantry is not good, and if your infantry somehow dies at sea, it's gonna be a huge setback because you're probably gonna lose 2 flags. You're gonna lose that Charlie flag, you're gonna lose that Bravo point. So it's a high risk, high reward, and you should only use it once you guys practice a lot, because it's not very simple to do. It really depends on how fast and how aggressive your infantry is, and of course the firepower of all your players. It really depends on your team. So that's all for this tutorial. I hope all of you guys learned something, and if there's any things that I can improve on, just add a comment below and like the video or something, or don't like it, I don't know. Anyways, we've been training hard for a competition that might be happening in Singapore for the GP Gamers Platoon LAN, BF3 LAN. So if you want to come down and support us, it'll be somewhere around October, one of the weekends. And if I have any news on that, I'll just update it on either the battlelog or on one of my videos. So just keep an eye out, and thanks for watching.